Good morning, it's Friday and welcome to Summer's Way of Life. So today I'm going to just share some inspiration on what I'm doing today. It's a cooking day for me. I've got family and friend coming over for a later lunch. I'm going to do a barbecue. Remember, when you live a way of life where you are living alongside nature's principles and you're cooking and you're growing your food and you put your focus on that and you put your focus on community, it doesn't become an event when somebody comes to eat. Once upon a time, that was such a normal thing to happen. And now it's an event. Somebody's coming to your house. Oh, good grief, we've got to cook. We have to get back. The real secret to freedom, the real secret to truth, freedom and health is going back to living the way we used to live with nature's principles. I'm just going to shut the door because the flies keep coming in. Going back to living with nature's principles and building community. It's the single most important thing. Your health, building community and teaching people whatever skills you know, learning, teaching and serving. On the note of truth, freedom, health, I am going to do some videos in the coming future on some real concerns that I've got, and I'm not just saying concerns because it's coming through my head. Actual facts and actual events that have happened to actually personally hurt others. Well, hurt me, but it also others because I've been approached by others too, and I'm going to share those facts with you over time. But first of all, today what I want to do, it's a family day and I'm focusing on family and I'm focused on cooking, and I want to share what I'm doing with you. Just little tiny things that'll give you some inspiration. So let me turn this around. Okay, first up, I just want to show you these two jars. Now you can see here in one jar, hopefully you can see that there's carrots, and in another jar there's garlic, chili and even more carrots. Now what I'm doing, I'm going to add to this. What I'm doing is I am preparing the raw ingredients to cook, not even to cook, but it is cooking in the sun, to prepare a pickle. This is fermented food, and in every culture they have their form of fermented food. If you take the Eastern European, they have sauerkraut, for example, just one example, or pickled cucumbers, gherkins, for example. Now, in the Indian culture, we have what's known as a chard. A chard is a pickle that's made with different kinds of fruit. So in this case, I'm using carrots, I've got garlic, I've got chili. If I could find some raw little mangoes, I would use them as well. And then lots of different spices, whole spices, which for example are fenugreek, onion seed, mustard seeds and others. And what they are, they're put together and then they are cooked in the sun. Over here what I've done is I've taken a few of the things that I've got, put them in a very dry jar, added sea salt or Himalayan rock salt, and then left them to kind of ferment, leave water and ferment. You don't want any water in it rather, but you just want it to ferment. And I will eventually, well today or tomorrow, is I need to fill that jar up. I've bought a lot more garlic and carrots because I like garlic and carrot pickle. I couldn't find any raw mangoes, so I couldn't put them in. And I'm going to cook in a jar, and I'm going to share how I do that with you. And it takes time. It's a period. Nothing happens quickly. Anything good is worth waiting for. You've put the effort in. So today is a really beautiful day, but I am spending most of the day. It's the morning here now, and I'm going to be just cooking. I've prepared quite a lot. Yesterday, let me just show you. I prepared a delicious mincemeat. At the moment it's cold, and a friend of mine was coming. I asked her what she likes to eat, and she said, I love mince and potato curry. It's the easiest thing to cook, so I'm cooking that. But what I'm also going to be doing is burgers, just plain simple burgers for the barbecue. And I've also prepared some beautiful lamb. I'm just going to show you here. I did this yesterday. Turn this around. Here we are. Just get a spoon. These are just pieces of lamb. I've had these in the freezer for a long time. And these are pieces of lamb. And what I've done is I've marinated it in different herbs and spices. A little bit spicier, not chili hot, but spicy. Garlic, ginger, mustard powder, all these beautiful spices. And then we're going to marinate them. I've got green peppers, red peppers here. As you can, not green peppers, red peppers and orange peppers, them, and shallots over here as well. And I'll put them on these big metal skewers and they'll go on the barbecue as well. Here's a lot more garlic that I've bought, which I'm going to use for the pickle. And I've got more chilies somewhere as well. And over here is a homemade yogurt that I made yesterday with unhomogenized milk. And I put this in the fridge this morning, but I just wanted to show you. It's set beautifully. I had a little bit this morning. And most of the yogurt I make now is homemade. And when there's a little bit of it left, I use that then to inoculate the next batch of milk. I've shown you in a video below how I make yogurt, so do go and have a look. The difference between homemade yogurt and shop-bought yogurt is night and day. I still buy yogurt at the shops. A good quality live yogurt, generally an Indian brand, which is just fresh live yogurt, full fat. Simple as that. Okay, so today I'm doing all sorts of things. I've got potatoes that I harvested last week. I've got more to harvest. I put them in you can see, they're here, to make a beautiful salad, but it's going to be a potato salad, obviously with the skins on, because these are not genetically modified in any way. These are just pure potatoes, which I've cooked in, grown in my own homegrown soil, and lots of manure, chicken poop, and homegrown, homemade compost. So I'm going to do these potatoes, which are going to be boiled, slightly crushed with lots of butter with the skin, and then I'm going to massage a whole load of curly kale that I've got in my garden, massage it with olive oil and salt, and then chop it fine and put it over the potatoes. Oh my God, my mouth is absolutely watering. So lots of butter, lots of kale, lots of olive oil, and warm potatoes, which would just be freshly boiled, that are going to go with the salad. I'm also going to make a nice green salad. And again, you know, it's a lovely warm day, and the idea behind it is to pick. And I've got a friend of mine who's coming earlier. People around me don't just come to eat. It's a family affair, family and community affair. So whoever can come early comes early, and they just help out. Nobody's looking at how amazing your house is, or, oh, that's dirty, that's not. I mean, I'm very house proud in the sense that I keep everything clean all the time, as much as I can anyway. But I'm not always tidy. But they will help. It doesn't matter. The idea is you're together and you're eating together and you're enjoying time together and you're building community, building love. This is it. Everybody talks about it. Very few people do it. The society is breaking down that we're living in, and the way to bring it together is through movement. And the whole idea of freedom is to move and build these relationships, not spend your time, as I have noticed in the movement, Truth, Freedom, Health movement. Unfortunately, there's a lot of good things about the learning, the education in it, but the way it's run, it's very, very, very concerning, to say the least, to spend your time building a movement and literally just phoning people and asking them to come to an open house. And there are people that are spending all their days doing just that because they really believe that's the right thing to do, and it is the polar opposite. It's really sad. So I will talk more about that in detail, but in proper detail with facts. I want to show you, look. So I'll be picking these beautiful salad leaves. I've got them everywhere. They're all over the garden. These just stunning. Here's the curly kale. Look. I'll be cutting off these leaves. Oh my, just look at them. And the soil they're grown in is really nourishing soil. Over here I've got these French beans, and they've grown too quickly for my liking, but they're there. It's not enough just yet. There's only one plant. The other one is still growing. And over here, I just want to show you the broccoli. This is the single head broccoli. And you can see in the middle it's growing. And, I don't know if I've shown you this, this is the cauliflower. Single head cauliflower that's growing. It's absolutely stunning. And there's a different type of cauliflower growing here, which are little tiny cauliflower florets, which I'm going to cut off, gently steam, and eat too. Plums. The plums are starting to ripen. If you look at that one here, don't know if you can see it. Hang on, there's my hand. There you are. Starting to ripen. So I'm just watching them very carefully, and I might pick them off just before they've ripened, because they ripen and then they fall and they rot. I wouldn't want that to happen. The other thing that I want to show you is the rhubarb. So everything that we are eating today, I mean not everything but a lot, is homegrown from the garden. The potatoes, kale. Right, I've got trifle in here. I've just made a simple trifle because my dad going to put a whole load of cream on the top, and over here, so many beautiful homemade things. Over here, I had harvested about 5 or 6 sticks of rhubarb, and let me just turn this. All I did with the rhubarb is gently put it in the saucepan and put some raw sugar in. I just want to show you what I mean by raw sugar. We call it gur here. Raw molasses sugar, which is almost bitter to the taste. And I cooked it in there, and with a little bit of muscovado sugar, tiny bit, not too much, to break it down. And I added just a little bit of vanilla essence towards the end. And that you can see, if I lift that up, it is so good. You've got the tart, the rhubarb is tart with that lovely kind of bitter sweetness that you get from the sugar. I'm going to make a very simple crumble top on its own, a separate crumble with flour, butter, oats, whatever. I might add other bits, walnuts to it, and I'm going to reheat this, pop the crumble over the top, put it in the oven, and we will enjoy this with ice cream, because it's a warm day, rather than custard. The other thing I want to show you is this. Let me turn this. You're probably thinking, what on earth is this? I need to grab a spoon. Right. I don't know if any of my Indian viewers are here. You might guess what it is. I have so much mint in the garden, and Mum and Dad were over just in the afternoon to sit in the garden and chat and talk. Really important with our elderly. And I said to Mum, I want to make a mint chutney. And there's a mint and tamarind chutney that is made in India, Pakistan, those areas, which cool the body down. When the body loses electrolytes in the heat, you have mint and you have gur, the same sugar, the jaggery sugar. So you grind the mint, the jaggery sugar, you add a little bit of chili. So you've got these different flavours. Again, from an Ayurvedic perspective, you've got all the different tastes, the bitter taste, the sweet taste, the sour taste. And so you have that, and then you mix that with water, but you mix that actually not with water, with tamarind. So I've got a packet of raw tamarind, and I soaked it, and then I squeezed out the juice. And it's a process. You're having to move and use your body, and it takes patience. We did it when my mum was here, and I did it in front of her. So I made sure I'm still learning, know everything perfectly. And we squeezed out the juice, and we did it again and again to get the bits of stone and so on out until it was a nice brown, thick tamarind juice. This is not the sweet tamarind. This is the other tamarind. And you can buy the juice ready prepared. But there is nothing better than buying blocks of this raw tamarind, soaking it with all the seeds and bits in, and squeezing out the juice through the water again and again and again until you've got a beautiful, just pure tamarind paste. And that is then mixed with the mint leaves, which we did mint leaves, and we left some of the young stalks on because a lot of the energy and the nutrition is in the stalks itself, not the hard stalk, the little stalk. Tiny little bit of salt, tiny little bit of chili, pieces of jaggery, and then the tamarind. And this is what it looks like. Oh my God, it's so good. And this is what cools the body. There's a lot of potassium in it. This is what cools the body down. You've got the electrolytes, sodium, potassium, calcium, not calcium, and it cools the body down and replaces the electrolytes in a natural way. Nothing can beat that. Nothing. That's what I'm doing today. The other thing is I'm going to make some chapati flour here in the kitchen. I don't know if I've ever shown you. Bin here. Some people think it's a bin, rubbish bin. It isn't. It's a bin where I keep my chapati flour. This is wholemeal. It's nearly finished. I need to put another lot in, which I have. And I make the dough, and I prepare the dough, and then I leave it to the side so it does its thing. It needs time to kind of settle, the gluten to settle. And then I make hot chapatis a bit later. And on that note, I really need to crack on and get on. So that's what I'm doing today. And that is what I am encouraging you all to do. If you say, I haven't got family, I haven't got this, look, it starts with you. You make the effort. My life could have turned out very differently if I chose to be selfish or just talk about things which people do. Yes, do this and freedom for everybody. No, you live it. You need to live it to feel it. And then that emanates, that frequency of yours emanates around, and other people think they see it and they want that too. And they start to participate, and that's how you build community. And then from that place, when you build community, people realize, I don't need to listen to an external source. I'm a free being. Natural law. These aren't just words. These are living in the way that we're designed to live as free, sovereign human beings. It isn't about talking about a truth, freedom, health, bloody movement. No. If that movement entails you just being a slave every day to a bigger purpose as somebody else who wants to profit, power and control and rule the world. Where does this come in from? Let's rule the world. That person's not right, so I'll do it. No, it's communities that live together and respect one another and treat each other well. That's key. Kind and treat each other well. If that's missing, you're completely lost. You're on the wrong path. No matter how good your education is and what knowledge you have, it's putting that knowledge into action that creates really wonderful, caring human beings and values the time that we have on earth so that they can then become creative. Create, not follow, not dictatorial. You will follow my order. That's the opposite of creating and being you. That is not freedom. Freedom is what I'm doing today. And how much love there is in the air when people and friends and family come round. That is what we're here for. To be, not to cook for our family. That's not what I'm saying. Understand? There's a lot of effort going into all of this. There's a lot of effort in growing all my food. There's a lot of effort in me spending time every day looking after family, friends, community. And that's my gift where I am today in my life. Everybody's in a different place. But that is the kind of thing with good works which matter. When I see my mother and she smiles because she's not on her own as an old woman in a home. I actually heard someone say, I'm so sorry to hear that your 91-year-old father has died. And the response was, it doesn't matter, I haven't got time to think about that. Oh, what lessons are you putting out there to the world who trust you and believe you as a leader to say that? That's the opposite of alive. That's evil. Evil, opposite, L-I-V-E, E-V-I-L. That's death. That's thinking in a dead way. A human that's alive will really... The question is, how much time did you spend with your father? I would ask that person. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying. It's sad. That's when the heart is cold and goes dead. Words mean nothing. It's what's inside that matters. And it's that love that exudes from within you. Remember that. That's what you need to be pursuing every moment of every day. And you will find your heart just expand over time. Your environment and the people you're around is very important. Do not get involved in cults. I'm going to talk about cults in much more detail another time. Now I'm going to go back to my day, shift the frequency, and enjoy the day that we're going to have. Speak soon. Bye-bye.